Yes, graduates, welcome to Hard Talk Podcast with HTK. Fasten your seatbelts. Hey users and subscribers, welcome back to another episode of Hard Talk with HTK. Yes, we've got a few things to catch up with this Friday. What heap of things happen, people? All right, we're going to get the light things out of the way first before we go into some heavy matters. First on the agenda, Asha Samaru. Asha Samaru has come out with a GoFundMe, people. Yes, a GoFundMe. Now, if you watched the video before where we spoke about Asha Samaru, who is a character from Trinidad, who has had an ongoing beef with young boss Kevon Solomon prior to his demise, we also said that Asha Samaru came out here celebrating and gloating the death of Kevon Solomon, drinking champagne on a live. That video went viral. Asha Samaru is known for her racist outbursts towards people of black descent. And she's trying to make it look now as though she's a good person, right? Okay. Imagine you are going through a divorce with your husband, and what you choose to do is to come out here and film yourself while you're crying. This screams attention seeking for me. I do not understand why people put a camera to their face when they are going through something and they are bawling their eyes out. How is that a camera moment? But it's, mind you, a camera moment with ads, right? Okay, because she is monetized. So she's doing this and she's earning from it, which smacks of desperation to me, which is highly likely given the scenario she's painted in this GoFundMe here. So according to the GoFundMe, it says, my name is Asha Mahabir. After 24 years of marriage with my husband, I found text messages between him and another woman who worked with him. The last 2 years, the mental and emotional abuse I suffered resulted in me trying to unalive myself. I went through a major depression. On the 6th of June 2025, he cleaned out our bank accounts, cancelled our credit cards, and left me with nothing. He filed for divorce and I'm unable to retain my attorney on my own. I'm kindly reaching out to the women around the world who follow me and know my history. If you all can help in any little way, as I'm in need of monetary funds to hire an attorney to represent me. I have never begged or asked anyone for anything in my entire life, and I come to you all humbly asking for your kind gesture, ladies and guys. So she's wanting to raise a total of $9,000 US, and she has so far raised $2,309 at the point in time when I saw this GoFundMe. Now, this post has been shared far and wide, including in the Show the World Guyana group on Facebook. Some of the comments on here were making me laugh, right? Of course, we know that every human being can go through difficulties and may need help. But you're going to understand why HTK says that Asha is not her favorite person when I play this video for you now.
Call me racist, but I stand with my words. Ladies and gentlemen, and all African around the world, if you do not behave like an old nigger, nobody will call you an old nigger. It is a behavior. Educate yourselves. Educate yourselves. They have old nigger behavior. They will always have that old nigger behavior because in their mind, they're still in fucking slavery. So if you're an old nigger, you will remain an old nigger. When you hear the police come, you're cussing the fucking police. And when the police are help, all you're still cussing the fucking police. And when the police shoot all your fucking motherfuckers in all your head, all you just ball the police bad. I think all you need, some good fucking licks. The police need to hold all you. Like how they hold them boys and them for cussing the police and talking about the COVID-19. And beat all you. Beat the shit out of all you. That's what the police need to do. Well, cut all your ass. But then all they go call discrimination and abuse and all they go want money. The police need to cut all your ass good for behaving like that on Facebook. Ladies and gentlemen, look at my class, look at my caliber, look at me. Why would I sort people like this on Facebook to go and cuss? These fucking monkey and them. Why would I sort people like this to associate myself with? Why? Why would I assort? Because it's bacchanal she looking for. But I will deal with that fucking old nigga now. You need to be shut up like the transgender. I'm going to deal with fucking you. You see that all you're doing? All you're causing confusion and bacchanal and commerce and all that ghetto old rat. But I'm going to send you a fucking letter, Twiggy. And you're going to put your Twiggy in your wiggy and shut your old cunt and stay quiet. You fucking old hoe. You old dry black nigger mother cunt. I call you fucking dry old nigger mother cunt. I tell you that. I'll fucking give you a lawsuit. You stinking fucking dry up old hoe. The PNM want nothing to do with you. You's a fucking fry by the night dry up. Fucking black old hoe nigga. I promise not to cuss you. But you's a real dirty old hoe nigga. You drag up your cunt, drag up all about. Look at you. Look at you. You have no fucking class. Eh? You're begging like a dog. All this are derogatory, nasty, dirty fucking monkeys. And you don't like me to call you so because that's what you're behaving like for a black woman. You get to look like an old nigga. You have an old nigga attitude. Yes, it. That is racist now.
All right. You see what I mean? And yeah, don't tell me that she's changed because no, she hasn't. She just hasn't had the reason to show her colors. Although she came very close in this live video that she did yesterday.
But I want to address you, Madam Liv from Guyana, who live in New York. For how many years you've been harassing me on the internet, along with other women, you're cussing on the internet. I am going through a divorce with my husband because of infidelity. And you on a live cussing me, bashing me, and laughing at me. Right? Because why? You were sitting and waiting for I to fall? Let me tell you something, Liv. I don't fuck people, man. Right? I don't do that. And I don't scam and I don't thief from people. And I may fall, but I'll always get back up. Right? I lived on the streets before with my first 2 children. And I made it in this life. I made it in this life. I didn't ask anybody for anything. I worked very hard with my husband for 24 years. I made lots of sacrifice for him to reach where he is in life. Because when you came in my house, you were trying to push yourself to my man, and my man didn't watch you, and he didn't like you. So you went on the internet and you bashed me, and you lied on me, you hide the phone in your breast, you called CPS in my home, you fly from New York and come to Mount Bellevue Police Department to make false report on me. It's years you're trying to interfere with me on the internet. You all don't have a life? You all don't see how the world is and how things are tough for people? You all don't have a life? Every day all of us sit down on the internet and post what Rena wearing, with this one wearing, who cat big, who man take who do what, and you all sit down there with your unhappy selves and just waiting to laugh at other people. What does that do for you? That makes you a woman? That makes you a human being? That put money in your pocket and makes your house bigger? What? Huh? But you're so hate for me that you glad my husband did something like this so you could laugh at me. That wouldn't break me, sweetheart. It wouldn't. I'm a human being, I'm a woman, and there are many women like me who after many years of marriage, at least I could hold a marriage for 24 years. You couldn't even keep your own man. You couldn't keep a man for more than 2 years. You had to go back to Guyana and cussing the man for property when you see our next woman in there. So you have no class. So you can't even speak about nobody's life. Look at your own life. Right? Think about that. You have young children and you in a club sucking up a man's tongue on the internet. No respect for your children. So speak about yourself, sweetheart. So the time you're looking to make a live to look for clout or maybe make a 20 cents on Facebook on my name, probably that's thank God for me you could get a view. Right? I know the mischief and wickedness you all have done to me for the entire years. And I'm not even going to waste my time to address dog shit. Right? Because I choose to be a better human being than any one of you out there. And everyone knows if you interfere with Asha Samaru or Asha Mahabia, wherever the fuck you want to call me, I will cuss your stink. Leave my children and I alone. Whether my husband and I going through something, and whether we divorce, whether I choose to speak about what he did to me, that still doesn't give you the right to fucking disrespect my children or my husband. Know your fucking place with me, bitch. All you know your place with me. All you. Because at the end of the day, I know the beautiful 22 years I had with my husband.
I know what a good man he was. I know what a good father he was, until a hoe like you came along, because there's an ex-hoe like yourself that came along and just break up people's marriages. Right? So don't feel at any point in time on the internet, because I speak of something, that you have the right to disrespect my children's father or my children, or even me, because I'll put you in your place, bitch. Right? Go and find something to do constructive in life, rather than you sit on the internet before Trump come for you with your hateful guy and himself, that you don't like me because I'm a strong, powerful Trini woman. I don't come here and pull women down. You have been doing that on the internet. You create all kind of pages, all you create, and every day all you cussing Rena Rentals. Every day all you cussing that woman. Every day all you have to talk shit on what she wearing, calling she children names, all kind of thing. Every day all you doing that, all day. But when people do it back to all you just run on the internet and play victim, because all you feel all you intelligent. Leave me alone. I have been telling all of this. Don't let me pull up all the photos and in the groups all you were in, where all you post my children's picture and abuse them, you know. Don't let me pull it up, you know. Where you all call my son Aiden a faggot and call my daughter Victoria a whore and all kind of thing, you know. And say my child has AIDS and thing, you know. Don't let me start go back memory lane, because I'll fuck all you up, you know. And this time it wouldn't be nice. All you two stink for women. Go and wash your dirty cunt and find something constructive to fucking do in life. You hear? Stop interfering with people and their families. If one woman cry, it should be all women cry. One woman going through something, you're supposed to be supportive. If you can't be supportive, shut your mouth and move on. If you hate that person's self, you're full of hate in your own heart, that you can't see past being civilized and decent. All you don't know nothing about that, because all you dragged up. Your mother take 99 fucking man. But you come to talk about me on the internet and call me names and come here to bash me because what? I reach out to my audience to ask for some help with my attorney fees, because my husband withdrew all the money from the account and left nothing for me to pay attorney fees. Is there a shame in that? There's not a shame in that. That's to show you the type of man he has become. When you think you know someone, you don't really know someone, and you can show you how men change even after 20, 30, 40 years or even 5, 10 years. So I don't understand you. Why your man leave you? You should ask yourself that. You should ask yourself why your man leave you. You shouldn't come to laugh on someone else's pain that they're going through something. Everything is karma for you. Everything is that for you. So you don't realize that it have many women out here going through those things. They don't have realized it have many women out here who staying in marriages and men staying in marriages, and their husband and the wives abusive, mentally, emotionally, verbally, physically, different ways. But you think it's a joke because you don't like me. I didn't ask you to like me. You didn't give me anything, and you don't do anything for me, and you don't contribute anything positive in my life or my children's lives. So your opinion on me, you can take it and shove it in your ass where the sun don't shine, bitch. Because I ain't afraid none all you. I tell all you the 7 years ago, and I'll fuck all you up again and tell all you 7 years now again. Leave me alone when you see me. I could be by the road begging. If you didn't contribute something, mind your fucking business. You don't have an opinion in that. I could be going on the road and get an accident and dead. You don't have an opinion on that. I could go into a depression and feel to kill myself. You don't have a fucking opinion on that. Because you don't know my pain. You don't know my hurt. You don't know what goes on in my home. So shut your mouth and mind your business, hoe. Yeah? Shut your mouth and mind your business, you hoe. Because all your women saw is the destruction of other women. You see me successful. You see me try my business. You see me doing something. Everything fell apart because my husband chose to have text messages with an employee. And I wasn't putting up with that disrespect and that hurt. And you think I should have stayed quiet? Because all you like money? All the women, well, the man walk in and the man give you everything. What else more you want? Maybe money makes you. Money don't make me, bitch. Because everything I have, I work hard for it. Very hard. My husband didn't put me in a house and mind me and give it to me. I made sacrifice for it with him to reach the position he is in life. I did without as a mother and as a wife to have what I have today. I put my children and my family and my bills first, and I never took care of me. Never took care of me because I trusted a man. You understand? So be very careful when you're speaking about me. You don't know the first thing about me. Hold 1 second. Yeah. This Portugal sour. If you just need some salt. Yeah, sorry about that. Somebody keep calling me on WhatsApp. So live, I'm asking you to leave me alone. Okay? Mind your business. my life, what I'm going through, if you can't say nothing good, shut the fuck up. Because it's a disgrace to women. You have always been a disgrace to women for what you have been posting my children pictures, you and Reese, and what all it did with me in that entire Yank nation. That's why he dead like a dog and he gone. It good. And I still say it good because he abused many women and children on the internet for many years. It's not only me. He abused many, many women and children. When my daughter Victoria got in an accident, that stinking dead dog, he said, oh God, Victoria should have dead, he dead. All didn't hear that. All they hear selective. But when the fucker dead and gone and I laugh all of it, I will still fucking laugh. What you could do for me? Shoot me? You bite me? What you could do? Nothing you can fucking do. So leave me the fuck alone. I am going through my problems. I am going through my depression. I am working on me and I am trying to keep my head above water. That doesn't mean you could be a fucking bully on the internet to pull me down. Right? Go wash your dirty cunt and find something good to do. You all are fucking disgraceful. And my husband ain't no fucking better than all you too. Because if you think what he did is right, then I don't understand that. Maybe you think that's the way you want a man to treat you. And maybe you think that's perfect, okay for a man to treat you like that. Well, it's not okay. I don't care how long you've been married. I don't care how good of a man is or was. From the time a man starts treating you badly, you have a right to stand up and speak out. You have a right to put your foot down and let him show you respect. And if he can't show you respect, let him go his way. So I don't understand that. I am going through something. When you all used to curse me on the internet and tell me go kill myself all kind and push me over the edge, or they didn't study how much emotional trauma all they put me through. All they didn't study that. All they didn't study the emotional trauma all they put my children through. And my children not on the internet to even interfere with none of you. And I never interfere with none of your children. But you sit down there with the raper man Dorica and this big monkey, right? This big baboon. You sit down there on the internet, getting out like a fucking gorilla. Right? And that way is a fucking monkey. What the fuck you gonna do about it? Huh? And bashing women and bashing children. You have no decency in you as a human being or a woman. You have no morals, values, ethics, nothing. But when you get a woman like me to come out and fuck all your back up and tell all you what you're doing, as the bad one. Oh, yeah, she cussing people. That's why she suffering. That's why she man leave she. That's why she man hunt she with Bridget. That's why she man this and that's why she man. Because that's all you can think about. Or let's sit there and wait for another woman's fall to laugh.
So you heard it for yourself. She is cursing this woman from Guyana. She is calling her a monkey, a baboon, etc. Still using racial slurs to insult the woman. Yes, cuss don't bring good word. But something as deeply inherent as racism that has not been removed from your spirit, from your mentality, will keep resurfacing. So that removes most, if not all, Black people from contributing to this GoFundMe. Because nobody with a sense of self-love would ever support an individual who refers to another Black woman by a racial name, like a monkey or a baboon, and still actually have a sense of self-worth. No. So this was just the update on what Asha is presenting online as a strong defense for the reasons behind her GoFundMe. And, you know, she is continuously rejoicing over Kevin Solomon's death, saying that she would drink champagne again. She has no regret, no remorse for it. Now, why should we have remorse for Asha Samaru? That's the question. Because yes, you are going through something and you really and truly could have gotten widespread support. But to keep revisiting your mistakes as though they were not mistakes is ridiculous. Now, allegedly, her husband actually lost employment in the past as a result of her racist remarks online. So Asha's behavior has caused great grief to those who are nearest and dearest to her. And it will continue to do so because it is clear to me that Asha is very unhinged when it comes to her mouth and the things that she will say. All right, we're going to move on now to a case that came up yesterday. This dirty mania, this Guyanese man was caught in a bed with a toddler. Yes, people, take a good look at him. So this spawn of a demon, his name is Hanif Khan. And I've got good news to report after this video went viral. This Bartica resident has been charged with activity with a child family member. His name, Hanif Khan, is a 42-year-old unemployed resident of 4 Miles Housing Scheme, Bartica. He was arrested by the police on the 1st of July 2025 for SA with a child family member. He has been charged and he has been remanded to prison, and he is due to appear at the Bartica Magistrates Court today, the 4th of July, before the magistrate Tariq Mohammed. Can you believe that this dirty man actually pleaded not guilty to the charge? And as such, the matter has been adjourned until August 15, 2025. I really want to know what they plan to do. This man was on video. Now, I cannot show the full video because I'm not going to put the child's image on here. Plus, it's against YouTube policies. But the child was on the bed with his nappy down on one leg, his buttocks fully exposed. And this individual was in the bed with the child, naked as the damn barn. And you can see he's like, I don't know if he's under the influence of alcohol or drugs, but you can see clearly that he's kind of out of it, right? And I can see from the image here that it looked like him get a good beating, a good hiding, right? No explanation as to what he was doing. The people them said them visually see him a play with the little baby bottom. I'm a play with it, you know. They come catch him. I don't know if he was about to do worse or if he already did, but the child wasn't crying. So I'm assuming it hasn't gotten that far. But this little dirty dog, this waste of space man is actually claiming that he's not guilty. I really want to see how the Ghanaian police force is going to handle this case. So we will keep monitoring and update you accordingly. Now let's move on to the case of Quincy Bernard. I want you to watch this video. It is a summation of what is happening with the Quincy Bernard case. Subsequently, however, Quincy's family did come onto an interview to explain that there was a miscarrying of justice taking place and that Quincy was handled badly or illegally by the police. Let's keep listening.
Quincy Bernard, who was the subject of a wanted bulletin issued by the Guyana Police Force for rape, has been released on station bail after surrendering to the police on Tuesday. Bernard was granted $100,000 station bail on Wednesday and instructed to report to the police on July 24th, according to his attorney, Jacinta Cave, of Hughes, Fields and Stobie Law Firm. Cave confirmed that a sexual assault charge was read to Bernard. It is alleged that he inappropriately touched a female. The police initially issued a wanted bulletin for Bernard in relation to an allegation of rape dating back to 2022. On Sunday, police officers attempted to arrest him in the Stanleytown community of School Street on the west bank of the Demerara, but Bernard reportedly fled in nearby bushes after police opened fire during the pursuit. Despite extensive searches by family members, residents, and the police, he remained at large. Bernard surrendered to the police on Tuesday at the Diamond Police Station in the company of his attorney, Nigel Hughes. He was detained overnight before being granted bail.
So we're going to listen to an interview with the relative, the cousin of Quincy Bernard. He's going to explain what took place, what happened during and after the arrest. And I want you to listen carefully to the things that she's saying, okay? Because listen, we're all for condemning anybody who targets minors. But what we're not going to do is to use that power recklessly. And I still find it so strange how swiftly the police acted in this case and aggressively. And yet there are some more high profile cases that are not getting touched. But let us just listen and make our judgments from there.
Sure, I can. So my cousin Quincy Bernard has been released today on $100,000 bail. Okay, so he has to return to Diamond CID headquarters in Diamond on the 24th of July. In the presence of his lawyer, as you are aware, he's being represented by attorney Mr. Nigel Hughes. In the presence of him, it was stated that he's wanted for sexual assault, plus inappropriately touching a female.
Wait. What am I hearing here? Now, first of all, they had put out a wanted bulletin. Here's a copy of it, claiming that this man was wanted for RAPE. That's right. Then it suddenly went to SA in another article, which is what I spotted here. Now I'm hearing that it's now a molestation situation, inappropriately touching a female. What exactly is it that he was going to be charged for? Now, isn't it crazy how the police have descended on Quincy Bernard so harshly and aggressively? But yet we have over 11 females coming forward for a famous cricketer. And the cricketer is roaming free and all over the internet like nothing has changed. Let's keep listening.
Quincy is weak. He's feeling weak. Of course, he's embarrassed. As a businessman, he's wondering what will happen with his business. Of course, his character has been tarnished. But with the family he has, we have been encouraging him.
Yep.
So lift his head up high and let us look to the Creator, because from him whence cometh our help. Mr. Benstop, as one of Quincy's cousins, I understand sexual harassment is unacceptable, unwanted, unfair, and unlawful. But I am confused. I'm confused because of the statement. As a matter of fact, the wanted bulletin that was published on the Guyana Police Force page that stated he's wanted for alleged rape. And then with what he was told today, this is very conflicting. Sexual assault, inappropriately touching, cannot be alleged rape. So I'm confused.
So I like the fact that the family is saying let justice take its course, and that they're not trying to defend the actions of Quincy Bernard. They're not saying that something didn't happen, but they're saying that the allegations were definitely extreme in comparison to what really took place, and that the reaction of the police was unacceptable. Now, she is claiming that the police actually shot at her cousin, and this article says that the police never did it. So once again, we have a situation of a cover-up going on where the Guyanese police force is trying to cover their tracks to make it look as though they acted professionally. Now, according to this article, it says here that Bernard, a Stanleytown, West Bank, Demerara resident, was wanted by the police over allegations of SA. Opposition activist Norman Brown has said that the man was badly injured after he was shot by a police rank on Sunday, but police headquarters on Tuesday said Bernard had no gunshot injuries. Mr. Hughes did not correct the false report about his client. Police headquarters in a statement said that Bernard went to the Diamond police station at about 1:30 hours in the company of Mr. Hughes. He was immediately arrested and placed into police custody. Police also said the man's body was examined and abrasions were seen on both of his knees. When questioned, Bernard reportedly told officers that he ran and fell to the ground. Soon after, police said that the man was taken to the Diamond Regional Hospital, where he was examined by a doctor on duty. No gunshot injury was observed on his body. However, the newsroom understands that the man fainted and was found to be dehydrated. Then, no two different story, these people. The relative has said that he was shot at. She did not say that he was actually shot. So, maybe what we need to be looking at is the fact that the police shot at him, which made him run from the scene, and that he did not actually pick up a gunshot wound. But in the case of running, he probably fell and injured himself, etc. So, yes, we can accept that possibly there was no gunshot, but he was definitely shot at, according to this cousin. Now, there has been no further updates with regards to the Shamar Joseph case. The last thing that we have heard so far is the West Indies head coach Darren Sammy expressing confidence that the proper processes would be followed in the investigation in the allegations against the current cricketer. In speaking to the press ahead of the second test in their 3-match series against Australia and Grenada, Sammy said that full support would be given to any investigation into the matter. As many as 11 women, including a teenager, have alleged RAPE and SA or unwanted sexual advances by the cricketer, according to the reports. Now, interestingly, despite these allegations being leveled against him, Shamar Joseph has posted a feel-good picture. Oh yes, he posted a picture on the 29th of June, celebrating his blessings, right? And interestingly, the comments were on fire, of course. But this comment jumped out at me. Here you have a post from Shamar's wife, clearly showing that she's fully standing behind her man, regardless of these allegations from 11 different women. There seems to be no condemnation. Lots of people are commenting, claiming that, this is about money and the fact that he's at his highest peak, and that's when the devil will come for him. They're praying for him, and so on and so forth. I find it so strange how instantly people go to protect and to victim blame, but to protect the potential perpetrator. There is no distancing between his fans and this situation. They are sticking by him regardless. And of course, the Guyanese police are not firing shots at this one. No, too big, too powerful, too in charge and too connected. In Jamaica, we say donkey say grong no level. And this is about the fact that not every human being is treated equally, even in similar circumstances. He has yet to come forward with a statement to even clear his name. It's just been radio silence. People need to realize that this is not about him becoming a target because he is elevating. 11 women from completely different backgrounds cannot be making up the same lie. And I do believe that you have to handle things cautiously when it comes to these cases, because it's always the case of innocent until proven guilty. But let us not forget that one of the accusers is actually a cousin of this man, who is making claims that this happened when she was a teenager, and that he was in fact held in jail for a couple of days, and then they settled out of court. So you've got to realize that there is a pattern that is being created around this cricketer, and the pattern, if proven true, could land him in some serious trouble and consequences with the law. Wifey, I hope you're going to be standing by your man, even when the cookie crumbles. Some of us are enablers of slackness, and it blows my mind every time. This is not a unique case. We have seen this many times. Sometimes it's about the money and the fact that they just want to hang on to the lifestyle, these women who are behind these men who do these actions. And it is more important to live the lifestyle than it is to stand up for truth and justice. Okay, we're going to move on now to a breaking update that has come through on the Adriana case. We are now going to hear from Haley with regards to some new information that has come out.
So massive news has come out in the Adriana Young case, and this proves that her murder was fully premeditated and there were family members involved. Now, Adriana's grandmother Carol and Stefan met with the lady in the grey at a restaurant in Tushin the day before Adriana was taken from that pool at the Doubleday Hotel. So this, of course, is the lady I'm talking about. Now, anybody who's followed Adriana's case will know that she was everywhere that day. She was with Leroy Smith. She was near the blue suitcase when they were trying to hand it over to Stefan. She was actually seen by several family members chanting, talking in tongues over the body of Adriana as she lay next to the pool, on the side of the pool, after Sir Brian had just got his daughter's body from the water. Now, what would Carol and Stefan have to even meet this lady about unless they were planning something that would happen the very next day? Now, let me add this all up for you. So the day that Adriana went missing, the grandmother phoned Stefan and asked if she could take the kids to the pool. He says no. Then she phones Amicia at work, and Amicia's at work. She's doing loads of different things, and at the same time you have mother's guilt, like you're at work and you're not at home with the kids, and the grandmother says, can we take the kids to the beach with lots of other family members, including all the cousins? And Amicia says, yeah, the kids will love that. The grandmother then gets into the cars with Stefan, with Pappy, with all of the family members, and takes Adriana to the pool, where Adriana will go missing for 20 hours and then be placed back into that pool the next morning, just before 10 a.m. dead. This adds a whole new layer to the case, because this means that Stefan and grandmother, at the very least, probably some of the adults as well, would have known what was going on that day, took Adriana to the pool that day knowing that she would never come home. Now, I just want to quickly add, because I should have said it at the beginning, that there is CCTV evidence and a recording that proves this meeting happened the day before, and that is with the correct people. Or some of the message has been lost in transition. So let's talk about some of the new information in the Adriana Young case that we didn't know before. So according to Ange, the cousin of Sir Brian, who was on the podcast, she said Sir Brian said no to the children going out with his mother that day. So the mother actually phoned Amicia at work, Carol, Sir Brian's mum, and said, can I take the children to the beach? I'm going to take them with other adults, other family members. And so Amicia agreed. And then behind their backs, she took Adriana to the Doubleday Hotel. The grandmother lied and said the reason they were going to the Doubleday is because all of the other places were too expensive, but where I live the beach is free, and that's where you told the parents you were taking her. According to the podcast, when Sir Brian first reached the scene, his mum just walked straight past him and didn't say anything. She just walked off with the police. One of the family members also overheard Carol saying at the scene that if Sir Brian came to the scene looking for Adriana and started to behave stupid, she would give him a good thrashing. In other words, if he dared asked her or Stefan, etc., how they managed to lose Adriana, she was going to go mad. We have learned from the podcast, and I did know a little bit beforehand, we've discussed it on live, that the 14-year-old who had the psychiatric hold placed on her so she couldn't talk to the police or the family members has been taken away from Carol and placed back with her birth mother, which is Carol's daughter. And we're unaware of at the moment, but hopefully the psychiatric hold could be lifted and so she can tell her full truth of what happened that day to Adriana. We know at the scene she told one of Adriana's aunties that she had last seen Adriana leave with Stefan. We've also discussed this fact before, but I just want to re-talk about it because it's so important, is that it is quite likely the Doubleday Hotel had its cameras working that day, and that's how they managed to work out where to position everyone, where the parents were and where they could get Adriana back in the pool. And it said the day after the hotel fire, Leroy Smith arrived at the hotel, took the hard drive from the cameras, but never took it back to the police station. Also, the video I just did previous to this was that Adriana's granny, Stefan's mum, Carol, and Stefan met with the woman in grey the day before at a restaurant in Tushin. And what were they there to talk about? What were they going to put in place? What plans were they making? What payments were accepted for the life of Adriana? It was also discussed on the podcast that Adriana was proven to have no rigour at all by the time she was found, meaning she'd only been dead for a matter of hours, and we have talked about that before. Also, it came out that Son, the hotel owner, actually was seen with a scratch on his body, although it didn't say where, and this is why they took the DNA from him to be compared to Adriana. But weirdly, we never heard of those test results either, or the pool water, both which were suspiciously sent to New York instead of to one of the most, the local labs in Guyana. And there are definite good DNA labs in Guyana they could have sent it to. So why did they send it to New York, and where is it now? Adriana. But
it is really important that we do not lose track of this case and we do not let it go. We will continually say justice for Adriana. These bits of information that we as bloggers put together, it's about keeping a track of everything so that when it comes to the justice that they need, everything is within reach. That lady in grey, she was always suspicious. And I remember when Angie spoke about her chanting over the body of the child. Was this the completion of the ritual that was necessary for the sacrifice made? Was there something that was arranged between the grandmother and Stefan and this lady that involved the death of this child? What was that meeting about? How is it that to date, nobody is able to locate this woman that was dressed in grey? And they have made several attempts to do so. There are serious questions that are still unanswered. And why has she not come forward? Surely she must be aware that her face is floating all over social media, all over the internet, with questions around who this woman in grey actually is. Now more than ever, it is so imperative that we insist on justice for this little girl and that there is an investigation that is objective and external that's made to look into this matter. It's clear that the Guyana Police Force cannot be trusted with this case and that there is no justice to be achieved from the systems that are within the country. Funding for legal representation and a really righteous fight needs to happen. So if you have not already done so, I will ensure that I pin the link to the GoFundMe in the comments of this video. Please go and support Adriana Young's family to get the justice that they need. If you have made it this far into Hard Talk with HTK, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Do not forget to hit that bell so you are notified whenever I upload a video. Big up your nice clean selves, and thank you so much for even the new supporters who have come forward and hit that subscribe button on my channel. I see you and I respect you all. Thank you so much for standing in solidarity with the Purple Heart movement with HTK. And my people, let us just keep praying. Graduates out there, let's keep praying. There are many cases like this that are not just in Guyana, that are all over our diaspora that needs an active voice. And we are so proud to be a space where we can do that. This is your girl, Head Teacher K, and I'm out.